Taylor!
Stran Larsen, whoa, Stran Larsen, whoa. Hi there, you're listening to Gary Spencer. It's the Team of the 80s. It's episode 5. And in this episode, I want to talk about our new recruits, particularly Stran Larsen.
I thought we played very well.
Because for me, that was one hell of a debut. He probably trained with the guys, once, 2 at the most, and I thought he was absolutely fantastic for us. He ran the channels, he showed, back to goal, held it up, brought others into play. He did everything you would hope for a centre forward. He's like an old-fashioned centre forward for me. His movement actually reminded me a lot of Mark Bright. He never stops running, and he always makes himself available, and he didn't hide. He ran out of legs towards the end of the game, which is understandable. I don't think he's put that much into a game for a while, and I think that was by his own admission at the end there in the interviews. But no, really, really pleased with him. He's going to bring others into the game. And there's 13 games left. I don't know, 13, 14 games left. I would think I'd be very disappointed if he didn't get to 5 or 6 goals.
Only had 2 shots at goal.
Let's hope he stays fit, and he's only going to get better. Sarr, we know all about Sarr, don't we? He brings so much to the team. Energy, very, very rarely gets injured, always gives us 100%. Bit fortunate with the goal on Sunday. I don't know if you saw it, but it hit the keeper in the chest, ricocheted in the top corner. And in fairness to us, even though our finishing has been abysmal, so many times this season it's hit the goalkeeper in the chest and gone off for a corner. Or it's
I thought we played very
gone
well.
out to one of their defenders and they've cleared it. This time, hit the keeper, went in. We'll take it. Anything right now we will take. It's going to change our confidence. It's going to change the way we see the game. And we can go on from here. I said in last week's podcast and before that the games for me that we had to win were Burnley and Wolves. I have no doubt now that on Wednesday, is it? I think we play them, that we will beat Burnley handsomely. In fact, I am a bit of a betting man, and I think that I may very well have a little wager on us doing them 3 or 4-0.
Let's not take the piss here.
Because, once Burnley are very good, they defend very well, but once they give that first goal away, they kind of open up. And let's be honest, we're due to give a team a hammering. I mean, eventually, all those chances we've missed, all those chances we create, eventually, they've all got to come together and they're all going to end up in the back of the net, right? So, for me, Burnley 3 or 4-0 on Wednesday. So that's a very bold prediction, I know, but I fancy myself. I'm backing myself on that. The other fella, Gissan, from Villa, well, he did great for the goal, didn't he? When he first came on, I didn't know what was going on. He looked very awkward to me. His running style was awkward. He looked like so out of place. But his touch is excellent.
I thought we played very well.
He's strong. He's a big fella. He holds people off. And his pass to Sarr for the goal, first class. So, all in all, unfortunately, again, Pino, he let us down. And, Daichi hasn't played for a while. He's a good player, though. And I'm glad he's back in the squad. For me, the two main characters on Sunday were Hughes, again, superb, and Jeff Lerma. Yeah, fantastic. Lerma won every battle. He was bang up for it. Yeah, I loved when he got in Welbeck's face. In fact, all the team were, I think that was the difference this Sunday, was that everybody was up for it. They wanted to get into a battle, and we haven't been doing that for a while. Glasner's energy was different, and there's some core members of that team which really push us on. Dean Henderson, he's got Palace in his blood. Lacroix, again, he lives every second Palace. And then you've got these dependable players. Hughes is such a dependable player. He wins it, he gets it, he knocks it off. Very simple.
I thought we played very well.
Does a great job for us. Very, very underrated player, Hughesy. Very underrated. And he's one of those players that a lot of supporters would say, "Oh, get rid of him." And then all of a sudden you turn around and you miss a player like him, So, yeah, I'm very pleased he's at the club. 13 games left. My thoughts on the end of the season have changed somewhat, just from the energy. Listen, it wasn't a great performance on Sunday, but there was different levels in that game where we looked different. We just looked like we looked at the beginning of the season, and I love to see that. So 13 games left. How many points do you think we're going to end up with? My first thought the other day was 47. Maybe, I think we'll end up with 50 odd, maybe 52, 53 points. Let me know. Let me know on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, all those platforms that I'm on. And make sure you like and subscribe. And subscribe to this podcast, please. We need some more subscribers, because it's doing very well on all the social media platforms. Just like you to subscribe so you know when I'm going to release something new.
Let's not take a piss here.
So yeah, 13 games left. I think around 50 points is what we'll end up on. Mateta. So let's just briefly talk about. I don't really want to talk about Mateta, to be honest.
So let's just talk about our performance.
But I'll address the subject. I'll address the elephant in the room, which is Mateta. I think that he's not going to have surgery. And why do I think that? Well, because if he has surgery, he's definitely not going to the World Cup. He's going to try and get his way back into a starting 11, right? And the only place he can do that now is at Palace. I'm not sure how he's going to get back into that team when he's up against somebody like Stran Larsen. But let's see. And I also feel he's got zero chance going to the World Cup.
I have no words for this performance today.
Unless he suddenly discovers this rasher form, which obviously has been affected by this knee injury, because he's lost most of his mobility, and mentally he's just not the same person. Now, I would assume that 50% of that is that he doesn't want to play for Palace anymore, and 50% of that is because he knows he's got a bad injury there. So him being, because let's face it, he is a little bit selfish, he's not going to opt to have surgery, right? I'd be shocked if he did. He wants to go to the World Cup. That's why he's been asking to be put in the team in the first place. And we're kind of stuck with him. And then next year, I don't know if he's going to get a transfer away from us, because, again, he wouldn't have played and he's carrying an injury. So he's going to need surgery. Anyway, let's see what happens. I'm honestly quite sick of talking about Mateta. Here's something very, very special. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be interviewing on the podcast an absolute Crystal Palace legend. Yes, indeed. From the team of the 80s. That's all I'm going to give away now. But that I'm very excited about that show coming up. And I'll be around after the game against Burnley. So thank you very much for listening. My name's Gary Spencer. Don't forget to give us a follow on Instagram or TikTok. Like and subscribe this. and I'll speak to you next week. All right, have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much.